Hello, welcome to Challenge 3, Emergent Heart, Identifying the Signals of Intuition. We are team Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Our challenge follows on from a challenge at Hack 15 about how to identify emergent signals within a project. That is, the ability to identify and raise awareness of possible problems by utilising the mood and feeling or sentiment of the team working on the project. Project professionals and everyone on a project tends to have an innate instinct around how a project is going, and this challenge aims to capture that knowledge, feeling and sentiment. Our user stories centre around the ability to understand if the project is in a riskier environment, ensuring staff unspoken concerns are addressed, and ensuring transparency of the results for senior management. Using this summary and the user stories identified by the various members of the project team and senior management, we tried to understand what was required to complete this challenge.
Product discovery, the why are we here question. We know that projects are going wrong, often before it happens. An earlier hack identified the potential for looking at data-driven project health awareness using non-traditional sources. So we spent time exploring this. What does our customer need? We think that transparent visualizations of data which has not been tampered with should be available for all in the organization to help drive engagement and give an early warning system. For planning and control, we decided to use Miro as a collective data collection and ideation tool. We then looked at the vision for the product. We set out to consider where we saw the project going. We envisioned the sentiment tracker, a tool that identifies the general emotions and moods related to a project. These could highlight potential risks that might be missed by traditional KPIs. Our product demonstrates the underlying human emotions supporting project delivery. Considerations. We considered how we collect and store our data. We could use Power Automate to create an automatic system. Given the timescales, the group elected to keep it simple, use short, user-friendly online form to give us data for analysis. For the visualization aspects, we use Power BI to create these for use by project decision makers. Analysis was another consideration, understanding the output and how we interpret and use this to deliver benefits of early intervention.
So what will our product be? We will have easy-to-use visualizations that can be tailored for different user groups. It will provide an early warning system, the canary in the coal mine, on how people feel about a project's direction. Projects often have a system for reporting issues, but rarely a regular check for trend spotting. This will engage the whole workforce and let their voices be heard, unfiltered. For relatively low effort, there is potential for a high-value reward, allowing appropriate early intervention, targeting of resources, and keeping projects on track. We have designed a form to collect data anonymously. The user will select project and employer role, direct, subcontract or client, with no other personal identification. We then have 5 scaled questions which aim to ascertain the general mood of the project, whether they feel they have all the resources that they need, if they feel they are listened to, if they would recommend working on the project to a friend, and whether they believe they will complete their element on time. We also have a free text box, which will help with identification of issues that are at the heart of the project sentiment. We see the questionnaire being completed weekly initially, dropping to fortnightly when established. For the visualizations, we have compiled a set of data, mostly random, but with some created to show trends.
This is the Sentiment Tracker dashboard. The first page is a summary page, which provides a high-level view and can be used by the likes of portfolio managers to see how well their projects are doing. Firstly, we've got 5 gauges, which have the average score for each project. We've also got a word cloud, which is highlighting any key issues raised in the free form text on the form. We've also got the average score by week number and project name on a line graph, and this page can be filtered by week. Next up, we've got the project page, which goes into a bit more detail. So at the top here, we've got each project's average score for the week and comparing it to last week's average to then get the percentage difference. We've also got an average score by question bar chart, and we've got an average score for these questions across the different weeks. And we can filter this to look at a particular question or project, week, or role. The team view gives a more in-depth look at each question. So we've got these performance gauges to show that. And then we also have a word cloud, which again highlights any key issues. And we can filter this by project and by week number. Finally, we have the forecast tab, which seeks to look at how the average score is likely to change in the next week. And we can filter this to look at particular project, week, or role.
Future considerations. We'd like to find a way of tracking an individual's opinion whilst making sure they remain anonymous. We'd like to be able to pick up keywords from the word cloud and focus on solving these issues. For example, if the word delay is mentioned more often, this would be an area of interest. We could look into sentiment analysis within site meetings and emails between staff members, moving away from a form that employees have to fill out once a week. And we'd like to broaden the focus of our solution to be relevant to other industries. We'd like to be able to pull a specific list of projects from a central source to auto-populate the form and feed into the data analysis. And we'd like to have categorized questions within the form and have a data set of randomized questions to bring into the form to reduce question bias. I'll now read out our responses to the judges' questions. So number 1, when an employee fills out the form, no personal information is asked for or taken. Our form is configured to select anonymous responses, and each response to the form is given an ID number. Number 2, within our form, we have asked which project the employee is assigned to. Number 3, in the future, we would like to track individual responses. Therefore, we would be able to identify any outliers. We would also consider looking at an alternative calculation other than the average sentiment score.